Welcome back everyone to Total War Pharaoh in part 21 of our Amenmesse campaign. In today's episode I was complaining about not having ourselves a major settlement defense battle, and our vassals were the ones to go ahead and oblige. So the Kirkir Oasis is under attack by Tajimi here. He's built up, I'm not sure exactly how many siege weapons or siege warfare engines there. We're not exactly, it would be awesome if it showed you here on this open screen. But let's go ahead and pull the map up real fast. And we are going to do what we can to hold the settlement. Auto-resolve thinks we're going to lose, and everyone is going to die, but maybe we can make it through. That is a storm of two-handed clubs. Beat sticks have arrived. Oh, it is sandstorms rolling in. Oh, wonderful. So this is going to really nullify our archers. You guys get to fight in a sandstorm 100% of the time. That's pretty great for you. So they've got a single ram over here. And then we can't see the rest of their army. Or am I just blind? Here they are. They've got a single ram here as well, so they're just going to try to beat the gates down. They aren't even going to go for the walls at all. Interesting. Well, so then it's going to be a little bit easier to actually hold these positions. I will butcher every one of you, he says. We'll just set up in the gatehouse exactly there and allow our towers to whittle them down. So we'll have these spears here. Smaller forces on this side. We'll have these spears set up on this angle here. Easy, he says. It'd be great we could get them in kind of a formation like this where we're drawing them on in, but then this is a very weak point that could be smashed through. If we had this single entity heroes like in Warhammer, that'd be a much more viable strategy.
Do not doubt us.
In Spear Wall, we can keep them in to start. Yoink. And then as soon as they are charged, we can go ahead and switch them on out. We'll have these other two-handed spears. I'm tempted to send them around the sides for a flanking attack. I think we're going to need every last spear in line, though. Two desert skirmishers. I'm going to have you guys set up off on the side. That way we're not throwing your goodies just yet. We have terrible range right now. You archers, go ahead and spread you out a little bit. Not to a ton, because the enemy is not going to be able to... There we go, so that way more people can actually fire their bows. Okay, you can spread them out. That's fantastic. Okay, you guys deploy along here so everyone can fire. And reinforcements in position. We'll have the general... We maybe want to deploy you guys a little bit less wide then, that we can have the general firing as well. You can set up in the middle here.
I will defend this place to my last
we'll just
breath.
scrunch these guys in a little bit more.
Tower before me.
Perfect. I'd like them to be a little bit more in between the towers, but that'll do. They don't have any missiles themselves, except for, I think, 2 units of javelins. We should be good to go there. All of our archers, group. And in guard mode. Really same thing with the spears. We'll have you two in guard mode as well, so they're not charging into anyone. Everyone deployed. Rapid fire is definitely going to be something we want to try to use. Is it just going to be the sandstorm the whole time? Sandstorm and very hot. Hopefully the weather transitions quickly. That's all I can say there. Switch to the fire arrows on both of you. We can light the battering ram on fire. They have no way of getting in the walls, and they'll have to turn around and run. Have anyone with flaming arrows over here? No. Okay, so we need to change that. Last second change. Pause it, Bowman. Switch sides so you can try to light this ram on fire. We're gonna have much less time to do so because of the sandstorm, but we still gotta do our best. Normal archers, you set up on top of this wall, and let's get this thing going. We also have reinforcements. Get him inside these walls as quickly as we can here. Gonna take him a long time.
On my way.
On my way.
Pushing on.
They're all invisible. Sneaky, sneaky Lebu.
Man the defenses.
Get some awesome cinematic shots of the battlefield, though. Even though most of the enemy is going to be hiding. They're very quick. Or at least the animation's a little bit funky there for a second. Also, all of the siege equipment have these little fern backings. Yeah, I'm positive they would have something on there for anti-flame weapons. Moving in very slowly, they are. Probably trying to let the sand whittle our troops down a little bit. Not a bad idea. Don't know how much damage they're going to take, or if it's actually lessened. They take less damage for everything else, though. They're going to have no time to light the ram on fire there. If you guys move up slow enough, might have a chance.
Do not let them over.
And then if they actually make it to the gates, we are going to have to sit and fight. I'd like to try to fall back to one of the other two, the Temple of the Marketplace, but either one of these is... The Temple is what we will want to fall back to if we can help it. For the heals.
Sand warriors.
Slings over a little bit there. We're going to bring you guys. Also, no, you just have to stay where you're at. Wanted to try to get this arc a little bit closer to the enemy there. They're moving up so slowly. You are incredibly lucky. I could use an area fire at the archers and tell them just to shoot. Problem is, of course, the sandstorm is messing with their arrows. Some pretty awesome effects there, though, with the sand blowing across the grass. That's
They
everything
have a
here.
lot of spears to throw.
They have a lot of spears to throw. And a few of them. Problem is, we can't throw them very far in this wind. Oh, you're almost into range, fool. We're gonna have these towers gonna blast it to hit me. I don't believe you can actually damage the ram. Sides just lighting it on fire. Let's go after the Lord there. For both of our towers. Getting closer. These guys are very close.
Unstoppable.
Go for the Libu tribesmen as soon as you're able.
Foes released.
Blast them.
I see the captain's bastards.
You guys also. Do your worst. We've got archers trying to reinforce. They're very tired, but they're getting here. Light that ram ablaze.
Never back down.
You guys get close enough, we're gonna light you up with arrows.
Sand
These guys
warriors.
actually cannot reach.
They cannot hide from us now.
I have to move them around.
Get marching.
Weird angle issues I wasn't expecting to have here. Let's move them around so they can actually try to blast in. Wait, sandstorm is going away. Back up on the walls. We might be able to light the ram ablaze before... Oh, it's too late. Let's fire on these Libu Raiders. They're not being blocked off by
We will not falter.
trees.
We will not falter.
I see the captain's bastards.
Ram's gone. That was... Oh, wait, never mind. They got through the walls. They threw that ram away quickly.
This way, brothers.
You guys out of
Fire at will.
Zeus mode. Come on down just to keep the area secure.
Sand
Slings go after... Well, the javelins actually aren't that big a deal. They'll waste a lot of their shot on the wall.
Send them arrows.
Good grief. Should be able to slay lots of raiders.
Fight for your brothers.
Get in there, lads. Alright, we've finished off that group of raiders. Switch the targets to the next.
Send a barrage.
Just keep tearing them up. We're going to switch you off of fire arrows. Enemy lord has made it into combat.
To slaughter.
Violin.
Fight for
You guys fire on these Libu raiders. That's definitely the most dangerous of the enemy targets. Plus the easiest for you to actually take down. They're not moving. Why not?
Die.
Charge into those raiders. Hold the line, lads.
No
Go after these desert runners. That's again one of their more dangerous units.
Born to do battle.
We might want to fall back just a little bit so we can actually get some shots into the enemy. Let's bring the javelins to this side here. They're decimating the Libu Raiders, which is awesome to see. You guys fire on these units here. Don't worry about the javelins. They'll bring down a few of you. A lot of them are going to plink off the walls pretty harmlessly. Towers. We lost the towers? How? Okay, sure. More of them inside the settlement than we have, I guess, so it's gonna give them the towers. We've lost both of them. Definitely to make sure we keep control of these side towers, then. You can move up, chuck your javelins in at their lord. If we can get rid of him, that is pretty well a victory for us. Start blasting away at these other Libu Raiders. I feel like they've realized that the archers are out of arrows. Come on down. Where's our other lord at? He's made it. He's almost here.
Move it.
We can't really have them fall back, so it's just hold the line and have our slings keep decimating these Libu runners. Those guys have javelins themselves, do they? Oh, let's quit wasting lives and bring them on down off the walls. You still have arrows somehow. I'd love to see it. They might have the numbers. We sure hope they don't, though. These desert runners look like they are being obliterated as well. Can you guys fire in at all? Or is it just too dangerous? Shooting the desert runners would be great. I'm just gonna run in. Okay, so here's what we'll do.
Get marching.
You guys come stand over here.
Move, warriors.
Libu slings, we are gonna bring you all back. A little ways behind them. Ooh, they've got all sorts of abilities they've got activated now. They're chopping through our dudes pretty quickly.
Sand warriors.
Send your blades to the battle.
Die. Sand warriors.
You can move up and chuck javelins in at Chijami. We have a very high chance of maybe pulling it off.
With me,
You guys go over here and then come down so you're not
forging ahead.
hitting off the walls and in bad spots. I like to throw down in here and just get stabbed in the side. This is a blob. Unfortunately, they should have the advantage in the blob just with all those clubs. Tons of them laying outside the walls, though. Keep chucking those javelins in. There we go. Let's have these set at a bit of an angle.
Get marching.
I'm going to try to have my spears do the same.
Born to do
Fall back a little bit. Only give enough ground, that way you can,
with me. Sand warriors.
like so. Looks like most of them are thinking about fleeing. And they turn and run. Victory Amenmesse.
I will not die here.
I will not die here. Now we're going to be chasing these guys well off the side of the map here. We're going to have a really hard time escaping, and the hours are going to be scything them down the entire time, too. Glorious. Oh, I'm going to round up as many of these desert tribesmen as I can, and I will catch you all in a moment. Well deserved. Oh, no, yeah, okay. That's a little bit sad. We gained 29 food. I guess they just dropped a couple Cheetos on the way out. They ran as fast as they could. It will indeed serve Egypt. You would like a vassalage. Arafra. He's still fighting against Seknakti, though. And if we go against Ramesses, that's gonna be that. We are gonna be... Or Ramesses is Pop. We'll be fighting Ramesses till the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you to leave. We're gonna be vassalizing you the old-fashioned way. With blades. My children will go hungry tonight because of your bullheadedness. You can get hit me with a guilt trip, will ya? Amenmesse, if you don't let me be your vassal, my children will be hungry. I don't think that's how it works, friend. But we do get a vizier's palace here at Nubit. I'm going to go ahead and construct that immediately for a very small amount of gold. You just smear it on the walls, and Alice builds itself. Awesome. So now that should be even further dragging a civilization out of crisis. And as the Meow Meows are throwing down in a fight, I will be right back as I break this up. Right then, we're back. You know, Mochi is much like the sea people. She always tries to take things that aren't hers and gets whooped for it. I'm expected to come in and save the day. Alright, World Decrees. We need to find ourselves a new one. We have come on down to the organized supply chains. Our troops are as cheap as we can possibly make them. We could go ahead and drop enemies' ability to siege. Or at least drop their ability to hold out in a siege. Extra influence for provinces with monuments. That sounds great. More bronze. More experience from battles also sounds pretty fantastic. I think it is time to come on back over and start upgrading our archers again. So, training mandate power, extra ammunition faction wide, and more armor piercing damage for all rank 9 in missile infantry. It's only going to be for the max tier lads, but I think it'll be well worth it. Perfect. And we'll see next turn the actual change to the civilization state. Hopefully that's enough to pull us into prosperity once more. It's only been 98 turns.
Courage is everything.
Courage is everything. Irenha, your job is to stand here with a bunch of expendable lads and wait for Pharaoh to try something. This is actually her capital here, Yebu. So that would definitely be why Jeffy is here, holding the line, making sure we aren't trying anything spicy. He could launch an attack on Muwa, but I think after watching the last battle, I like our chances, especially with Miam being much better defended. Down here, I think we need to continue to increase our food output to 1.1 thousand, but we can really continue to maximize that. Do we want to rush this along? I think so. Just so we can see what our new food gains are. Stuff, everything out of the south, which we already completed there. Bidazar, why don't you continue your path? You're in camp stance, are you? We can change that. Ooh, looks like the Libu are coming on back, so it is indeed time to set up. Now I've been calling everyone the Libu, but these guys are the proper Libu raiders. Set you up here. I'll just set up in an ambush stance just to figure out where they're coming in from. This should surprise them. And you can just go on out. Be able to auto-resolve this army here. A bunch of slingers. That's no problem. Our next target is definitely going to be... Well, it was going to be Pharoah. Annihilated. Oh, never mind. Zanakti's on his way. Still wearing his false crown. Which should not be a thing. There's no way someone can contest the crown right now. If we come on in here, to be a pretender, you would need 261 legitimacy, and Tazeret is the next closest at 86, because we keep stealing all of her legitimacy, which has been fantastic. You really ran? You think you can escape from me?
I'll kill you.
I'll kill you. We'll bring Kasef up to tier 3. He might be able to... No, he can't. He can't go on around, so I'm not going to speed that along. Bravery. Well, how much is it? 200? We've got so much gold. You might as well use it. Kirker Oasis defended itself. And, yeah, you should probably leave. Although at this point, we probably need to switch out the native recruitment building, because we have that down here at the Dungle. And we'll replace this with one that's more defensive in nature. We do need to start bringing an army over to deal with you.
I will take what is owed.
We also need to prepare for our war with Wasset. Probably Saw as well. Are these guys Egyptians?
Every word from your mouth is likely to be a lie.
Every word from your mouth is likely to be a lie. He is the vassal of Wasset, so if we go to war with Wasset, we fight Saw too. It does seem like Wasset is the leftover of Menifer, because they are in control of Menifer currently. And all of the land he had before. Except for his pet. Not sure exactly how they got passed out. They may have just declared war on him. Oh. Amenmesse is gone. Looks like the Ekwesh wave is actually making some progress. Amenmesse needs to get up to the coast as quickly as we can. Might try to leave Talzaret alive and leave her in as an advisor. We'll see.
Glory beckons.
Wasset is something we also need to get up to pretty quickly. There's lots of armies congregating around here, but I don't think that's gonna be that big of a deal. We could send Pyrinha up towards Shepsuab up here, and then Amenmesse.
Amenmesse.
Bring you in
Pharaoh
March.
of Egypt.
Ooh, before we do, I wanted to switch out
Remain
Clubman
vigilant.
for the Kapesh card.
Off we go.
Off we go. To deliver some Kapesh card. Let's grab these Nubian clubmen and just raid them out. We grab these spears as well for these two Nubian longbows. Amenmesse deserves the best, but so too does Sehenesmet. We'll trade them. Sweet. Amenmesse is even more elite.
True Pharaoh.
Put him in
Prepare
March.
to move.
Try to advise us. Will anything actually get us along? Yeah, we'll have to go this direction.
Gods,
Traveling the
hear
Nile
my
would be
voice.
faster. That's alright. Got the Shrine of Isis in here. Let's slot in the Egyptian trading post. Yeah. Then you can just hang
Warrior
out
of Nubia.
in case of any nonsense.
Firstborn son.
There's some stories that he may not even be son at all. He may be the uncle of
Guard this city.
Ramesses or Seti. Get it mixed up. Either way, in history, he becomes the pharaoh very, very briefly, and then Talzaret and Seti deal with him. He goes missing. Who knows what happens in Amenmesse?
Death to my enemies.
Death to my enemies.
With the voice of the gods, I declare this court in session.
They're in session. Let's figure out what we can do in order to maximize our gains here. So we've got discredit going on. Let's go ahead and boost that up to 100.
I
And that'll
must
be our court
say,
action for the
I
turn.
admire your strategy in navigating court.
Yes. Glad to hear it. Our deities. It'd be great if you could get even further gains after the 600, because it seems like we're up to 1200 with Isis. There's just nothing that's giving us. We're just more gods to worship. Great. Adding on to the Pantheon, because you can easily handle that many. 600 to rush this along? I think we will. Feeling feisty. Go ahead and upgrade the foreigners' residential quarters as well. If you're looking at our stone as to why it's so large in quantity, I just was handing out 1,000 wood to the surrounding Canaanites and Hittites, or as much stone as they were willing to give me, and it was usually 3,000 for 1,000. So if you're playing Amenmesse or any of the other factions, you're able to stockpile wood. Definitely a good idea to start giving you, if you need stone or any of the other resources. Wood or bronze is great. They can't use wood against you in battle, where if you are giving people bronze, they'll be able to use that to stockpile more elite troops. Which is why I haven't really been giving it out.
I stand unbroken.
Except for in very rare circumstances. Okay, let's go ahead and
I
create
am
Anubis.
in your hands.
In Anubis's hands.
Warrior
Which is
of Nubia.
Usually not a place anyone wants to be. Come on over to March.
Into your positions.
We'll drop off some troops here at the garrison. Just a bunch of clubs. Yoink all of these guys here. 6 out of 10. I'm just gonna drop pretty much everyone off then. Yeah, we'll fill the fort up. And then you'll stand
Power and
right
pride.
next to the fort.
You better have strong nerves.
Better have strong nerves. We'll give him more archers.
Line
And
up.
that is it.
Let me see.
Here at Min, though. So we can build up the training grounds and then delete the other one, which is probably the way I would go if you can. Over here. Anything else we can grab that's going to increase our defenses? No. Let's go ahead and Corvée labor. We haven't tried this one on out yet. So we can build the residential quarters all the way up to tier 2. Reduce construction time for this building to a minimum of 1 turn. Are you sure you want to do it? Absolutely. And then we could also come on in here and just snag an irrigation ditch for some food income. Great.
I'll prove myself
We'll
worthy.
just keep you here for now. It'd be great to have another army to engage with Wasset or deal with any encroachments from Tazeret if she decides we're weak.
Make your name or die.
You have a staunch lack of Kapesh warriors, so we're going to go ahead
When I
and
call,
fix that.
you answer.
You've got 2 chariots. Actually, you don't have very many archers at all.
Hard men for a hard job.
Hard men for a hard job. We'll give you
Strong
the rest of your
arms and
units just being the upper
stronger
Egyptian
stomachs.
elite archers. You have
Are
4
you
archers.
strong enough?
A lot of infantry. A lot of very good against shield infantry. Except for these 2 fools. They were special recruitment. Can't really judge them. Even though we'd like to. Only 1 building slot here. We already have the residential quarters in. It's good to me. What are our 2 pending actions? The Thutmose action. Would be great if we could get rid of the notification for that once you're at your final tier. I know I'm ready to engage Wasset. I just have to wait a little bit. I think if I declare war on them now, start all sorts of
How much is that armor worth?
issues.
I should pluck it off your corpse.
Brother. So this will just happen if there's no problems, but it looks like it's not going to give us any issues. I'm not going to do it yet. I want to get ready. Tazeret has a couple of awesome monuments over here. The Great Temple of Abdios gives you just 6 more legitimacy. Also, that's where a lot of her legitimacy is coming from. All of her monuments. So she's got a bunch of them over here. Jesser and Jesseru. 5 legitimacy from that. She's got like all of them. She may be also using the... What is the other? We've got Thutmose. Khufu the Builder is the one that she might be using. That's why she has all of the different monuments. It's the one I would have liked to be using, but we're here butchering people with gold instead. Alright, well I think that's all we can get to for this turn. It says we can do some construction in North Nubia. Now we're going to be saving workforce. I think we help do so. We'll go ahead and let the laborers rest and build up some workforce here. Okay, so the Libu are going to attack Amenmesse. I'm not sure why. They're going to get drop kicked. Just runs up and gets a throat punch by an axe. Yeah. That arm won't protect you. Oh. We'll go ahead and be merciful. We should still replenish. Right at the end of the turn here. We gained a strong man. Having a man mounted on side, short on brain, but with an excessive brawn is most useful thing indeed. Also, we've got our own Gorich now. 20 extra XP per turn for all axemen, clubmen, 2-handed axemen and clubmen. And then 2 more happiness. Because they're scared of him throwing a rock at them. Idle workforce at max. I haven't seen this notification just yet. Don't know that it necessarily matters, but... yeah, sounds about right. They couldn't beat us in battle, so they're going to run around sacking our provinces. Kingdom updates. All as one. Let's rotate Amenmesse. Then I realize we have to finish off the Dungle. They're not just going to go away on their own.
The fire
See,
of
no more
Nubia.
Libu tribesmen popping in, but I feel like it's only a matter of time. Especially if we just saw that one army. Well, if we can have Alcatazar move very quickly
Get ready to move.
up
Bless
the
my
road here,
divinity.
you should be able to drop kick the Kirkur. So we'll have Amenmesse
Amenmesse.
scoot on around to help out with that as well. So through here.
Clearing a path to power.
Ooh, it looks like we've got a new plot probably against us. Also, one of her abilities is that she can flip plots against you. I just don't know if she's able to do that here, because she hasn't yet.
Here we are.
That
The
may be what this
center of
is she's
wealth
flipping
and
one against us, but
influence
because
in
her
Egypt.
legitimacy is so low, she just has no chances to succeed. Either way, we do have to come on in and gossip at least once.
I'm sure
Build
we
up
could
some more
learn
regard.
much from each other.
It's not even her. Interesting. Well, this guy has zero chance to do anything. He can just hush himself up. Otherwise, the axe is coming on in. We'll go for training range down here in Miam. Love to finish that, but 500 gold is a lot. More than I'm willing to spend. We have one extra in Hedgepaw? No, we're going to go ahead and wait then. In Nubit, I think we want shields up before we go for any kind of city improvements. That's tempting, but not yet. Only going to take a single turn.
No one doubts me now.
No one doubts me now. Surely not.
Death to my enemies.
Luckily, Alkitazar should be able to get almost all the way up to Sinhetim. Or at least to the Dungle Oasis. He'll be a lot closer, at least. Over into Cham. I'm definitely going to add in the Baron's working complex. That Nocti might be our next actual war. There's no threat of a civil war. Unless we decide to make one happen.
Spirit and pride.
I'm gonna march here.
Into your positions.
Say we need a ping pong off of the trading post to drop upkeep first. Lookout posts here? Oh, it's a fort. Yeah, the fort's not a bad idea.
I'll get there.
We can come on in and drop off our Libu and then the Libu warriors, Egyptian axes, and then the other guys that don't really cost bronze, or cost very little in terms of bronze. Let's go for these spears because they're pretty defensive, and then the composite bowmen as well. One unit of the Libu swords is going to take a little bit for us to build up this army again. I think it'll be worth it.
Let's get going.
Now Kasef is very well defended. I'm going to let that barter with Biam completely go away. That way I can prepare for war with them soon. We can fight a war on many fronts here. No problem. Even if their strategy is going to mainly be just blow up building or blow up the outpost and run away. I'm going to construct this immediately. And we'll set that one and let it cook along. Should be more than enough defenses now to keep the Kirker Oasis from any kind of harm. Yeah, now we've got some extra Nubian warriors in there as well. Spears and some bows. Bows are not great, but that's just extra arrows to send flying their way. This is just trying to lure me into Northeast Nubia. We've got damaged outposts in Miam, and I will repair that. 121. Otherwise, it will just destroy itself, which I don't really feel like rebuilding.
Battle is my calling.
Henizmet, do you think we would need to keep you here to defend against Miam if they decide to rebel? Bounce along here, and then come on back after grabbing that upkeep production.
Survived another day.
Survived another day.
My time is now.
Back
I'll
down.
prove myself worthy.
Lots of ping-ponging around.
Mighty warrior.
March up to this
Bless my
Isis
path,
shrine.
divinity. Courage is everything.
Keep going into March.
Protect the city.
Zooming around the provinces.
I stand unbroken.
These both shrines of Isis. No reason to hit both of them in. We'll just come on back down to do it.
And the walls.
A little bit of a dangerous spot if Waset decides to attack, but I think we can fight them off. Montour hasn't been moved.
Fire of Nubia.
His job is going to be hiding.
Prepare for anything.
Very brave. Holding the line.
Death to my enemies.
I think I want to give you a staunch line of
I need more
axes,
blades.
and then these guys can be our flanking force. And then we'll want some spears for all of the chariots we're definitely going to run into here this late in the game. Ignore the constructions in Nubia. That looks to be all we can get to for this turn, so we'll zoom on into Amenmesse. Yeah. And that'll be our turn.
I'm always learning.
Another outpost destroyed. They let me repair it, then they blew it up.
Ruler of all Egypt.
Listen, buddy. We've allowed you to exist thus far. It's only because I am a benevolent pharaoh.
Glory beckons.
As our move on through to try to attack Senhetem next turn. Bring Amenmesse down.
Amenmesse.
Pay some homage.
Pharaoh of Egypt.
Drop his upkeep once more, and then can we, before we go into with it, march stance, go in normal stance, maybe we can take this guy down. There's an easy landing point. No, we have to go all the way around no matter what. Yeah, he's doing his best to hide. Don't respect it, but I understand it. One down to Miam through the Nile here.
The Nile will be the lifeblood of my empire.
There's no way he conquers any other towns, especially after being backhanded as hard as he did last fight. Come on through.
Move out.
Next to the fort, he's very well defended, even March. Pass us some titles. I think more movement sounds great. Should have probably done that before we started moving.
My time is now.
I'm gonna have you rotate a bit. So we're gonna definitely have to bring you back over to actually recruit more troops, aren't we? So sprint through the desert here. Back towards the oasis. Move fast. This is dangerous because there may be a random uprising from the sands.
You better have strong nerves.
Alright. Losing one of my champions would be very sad, but it's the risk we're going to take here. We'll chuck in the Stone Carvers District, and I'm going to go ahead and destroy the Happiness Building in both of these. Rebellions are something we're happy to deal with. Means more gold. Alright. So for the Vizier, can we do the connections? We've already used it. This Shimzuhor. We could assassinate him, which seems extreme. Just come on down and gossip with the treasurer once more here.
Do you seek to make use of my advice?
No. I seek to poison your dates. Outpost construction in Nubia. No, we're going to wait on that one because he's just going to blow it up again. Not brave enough to face me, though. Brigade farmland in Kitmen. Down in Nubit, we've got 3, so we can go for nothing I really like. Visitor's Quarter is not a bad idea, though, just because it does increase our workforce growth. And then we can grab, instead of the lumber reserve, let's grab that instead. No, this is much better. Got 1 more workforce. 2 for anything useful. I think the other thing that's going in Nubit is definitely going to be the Nilometer, so we gotta save up 5 extra workforce for this one. I'll construct that immediately. Get that workforce moving right away. We also are going to need 5 for the Bronze Workers District here. And fool me. Let's come on in and grab... Not the trading complex yet. Let's grab the granary first. I'm also tempted to rush that along. We may do so after returns. Has 2 extra workforce. I love that this tab is covering up the icons that I could even use here. I'm thinking... Prince's Goldsmith sounds great. Just grab the gold mine at labor camp first. All of the gold.
I'll prove myself worthy.
What I was building, we are. Go ahead and construct that up right now. I'll have a send his
The
met.
fire of Nubia.
just keep bouncing around and grabbing some trade.
Death to my enemies. I am
Thank you
in
back to
your
us.
hands. Worldly warrior. Royal
Pretty sure I asked you to make it
prince.
beyond, but hadn't previously. Should we just chase this fool down?
On
Make him,
my terms.
force him to
Battle
trespass
is
on
my
Tazret's
calling.
army here?
Power and pride.
In one tour, we can bring you over. Is this just gaining a bit of movement? Wouldn't be a bad buff to have.
Spirit and pride.
I don't see the Canaanites causing us any issues. Pretty sure you
You
guys are
have
Canaan.
wealth to spare, Prince.
Wealth to spare, Prince. I do. Would you like a non-aggression pact?
My family will benefit.
His family will benefit. Because you're not going to be murdered. What a benefit.
Mighty warrior. On my way.
This is a little bit dangerous.
Line up. Let me see.
Alright, what we're going to want to do is more chariots. Upper Egyptian ones. A very aggressive line of spears and then chariots.
When I call, you answer. Make
Good to
your
me.
name or die.
Be ready to invade Talzeret very soon. I mean, peacefully talk to her about the weather. No murder here.
I stand unbroken. Set up.
Hang
for
out
troops.
in Nubit. Although we do want you to try to
I'll prove
get
myself
straits.
worthy.
So as I say that,
The
hang out in an
Pharaoh
encampment
of
stance so you
Kush.
can get a little bit more replenishment. Possibly. All we can get to for this turn. Perfect stuff. I love another battle. The first defensive one was awesome. We're closing in. On down to Amenmesse, and that'll be the turn. Hopefully that forced the Dungle to move through her lands, which Talzeret will not appreciate. Bizarre has now become ambitious too, so he's going to be gaining a little bit of experience every turn. Which is awesome.
Rightful heir of
Let's
Egypt.
see, do you guys have any defenses?
Death to my
Hopefully
enemies.
not. It looks like no fort. I'm going to be breaking nothing. You're just moving in to take your things.
Keep moving.
Swiggity swiggity. I think he was going to show us an army there. We'll go into an ambush stance just to see if we can lure them back over into this spot here. And we don't even really need Amenmesse except for to kind of keep an eye on.
Of all Egypt.
Let's come up to
Remain
where we're going to
vigilant.
rebuild the economic post. I'm going to rush that along. Then have Amenmesse go
Driven
into an
by
ambush stance.
injustice.
Sneaky, sneaky Amenmesse. Workforce growth sounds great. And if anyone's moving through the area, they'll have a little bit of upkeep production. Hidden Rooms uses a little bit more of our gold, but gives us a little bit more legitimacy, which is even better. Bronze or relations with all non-Egyptian factions. This has been fantastic for us so far. We are building along to vassalage with lots of the Canaanite factions.
Son of the sun.
Most of them are negative 9, 14. That's not bad for vassalage. No one else really wants any deals.
I live to serve.
Oh, hang on now. We are bringing Canaan back into Egypt. I mean, Bay, you're entirely untrustworthy, but
History will remember.
raiding with Shupi
I don't see how this seems.
sounds great. We should probably try to start making it work.
I stand
Peter Sheba,
stand strong.
trading with some of the other Canaanite factions. Don't plan on going to war with them at the moment, so we will just try to vassalize those Canaan.
have for me? Gold?
No, I have no murder
For gold
for a time being.
I will defend my home.
You guard as well. Megiddo is one of the fortress cities. We can
We
just keep
bow no more.
making friends with most of the Canaanites. Figure
Son
out
of
who's
Cain.
fighting who. Most of them are just being friends at the moment, which is
We
not
could
how
use
Canaan
that
normally
mountain of gold.
does things. Don't care about stones, so give me as much as you're willing to provide. Ooh, alright now. I wasn't expecting to get any amount of really anything out of this. 180? That'll do. If I really wanted to, I could just go, hey, I've got 1,000 wood. Give me all of your stone. I guess not all of it, because you have an absolute ton. Okay, so you were more loaded with stone than I thought. 5,000? What are you willing to give me? Look this up a little bit. Good grief. Non-aggression pact, and then all of the quarry? 8,000, okay. We'll just go for 8,200. That's insane. Yeah, sure.
My family will benefit.
Zimrita, your family should benefit. The logs are coming their way up the Nile. Anyone else want a non-aggression?
Strong.
Umuru?
Fight for my brothers.
They're fighting with only the invaders, which I think is what's making most of these factions such good friends. I'm gonna give you also 1,000 wood, and then all of the stone you're willing to provide. He doesn't have nearly as much. Isn't quite as good of a deal here. So about 50, 45, 42, 40. That's the way.
That will work.
That will work. He must be one of the more poor Canaanite factions.
Son of the Sun.
And we can just keep doing that as
We
well.
bow no more.
As long as we've got the wood.
I will listen. Very well.
We're just gonna grab some non-aggression packs though.
I will defend my
Or uniting
Boy,
Canaan.
go on. Make your offer.
Don't you growl at me, Tanit.
So we agree.
We are going to not fight, yes.
I stand strong.
Jerusalem.
Never back down.
Think this is the proto-Jerusalem? Yahweh Leon. Ooh, we butchered that one aggressively. Yeah, we gotta make deals with the
Go on.
proto-Jerusalem.
Make your very well.
Very well.
Son of the Sun. I
Jim
will
does
defend
well.
my home. I will listen very well.
Claiming their lands is great, but we're just gonna try to make
I will defend.
buddies for now.
Son, I will listen.
Pharaoh can
Agreed.
stab people in the back anytime he needs to. If they lose their lands, we'll just tell them they belong to Amenmesse now. Sweet business. We got a couple of generals haven't been moved. We will just come on in here and continue to build up. Threaten her to remove her so she has to keep spending gold and a court turn to take the treasurer position. Wages. We'll just continue to gossip with her.
I must say, I admire your strategy in navigating court.
Yes. All of that.
Amenmesse. Golden Horde.
Has been and Montour haven't been moved.
Marriage is everything. Protect. the
Ren, you just
city.
come on down to Was.
Battle is my
We're
calling.
gonna come on outside the walls and go
I'll
into a
prove
camp
myself
stance.
worthy.
And Montour then.
Glory beckons.
Same thing. We'll head camp right outside of
To my
Kitman.
destiny. Get some fires going.
Get some fires going. And then we'll just give you some expendable Upper Egyptian archers.
Hard men for a hard job.
Agreed. We don't need you to have anything special. Hold the line, but if you can't, so be it. 4 workforce here, and our happiness is really bad. And we're just gonna continue to ignore their happiness. They don't care what the peasants want. They're there to mine for us.
Power and
That's about it. Come on back into Dungol
Stay alert.
in normal
brothers.
stance. Ooh, we can encamp. Awesome.
Set up camp.
Start building up our Libu forces again. So
Are you
2
strong?
tribe warriors and then 2 composite
You
bowmen.
better have strong nerves.
We do
Line up.
swords.
Let me see.
And then we would be at 16, so we're missing the spearmen. We'll grab those next to Suhor. Take that off for now. Don't like sitting there for multiple turns. The ambush
Spirit and pride.
hopefully can succeed. Let's zoom on in. Do Amenmesse. Lure into the Dungle. It's Shimzuhor, and we have a better civilization. Always is prospering up there in the mixture of Canaan and Hattusa. Idle compensation. Trade my court action for some gold. Actually, this time I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I don't need my court action. This Shimsuhor
Here I go again. On my own.
on my own. He had 3 plots successful, and he tried to threaten the Viceroy of Kush. What a fool! What a fool! Perform as many court actions per turn as you can afford, because we're the best. Fashion sword units and bow units is definitely the way. Apply that, keep it going. That is awesome, but it looks like the dongle didn't fall for it. How sad. Well, in that case, I think Alcatazar can easily handle
The
them.
fire of Nubia.
See what Sinhedam has.
I live for this.
Me too.
Glorious
Oh, it's
bloodshed.
so pitiful. Oh. Sand attack. Mixed with Iron Tail is super effective. Go ahead and just occupy, because this was a pathetically
Claim it in my
managed
name.
settlement. You
My
should be
time
glad
is
we're
now.
here now. Got a way station, which is actually pretty good out here in the desert. Let's go ahead and snag in the Shrine of Anubis to help me butcher the rest of these lads. And probably just another single easy battle there. More sacred land has been secured. We've got a shuttle. Ooh. This thin curved sword is especially effective against cavalry charges. I don't think that's what they were for. They're for reaching around shields. It's kind of their thing. I guess it would be good for taking out, trying to reach up and stabbing a rider on the back of a horse too. Makes sense. Alright, well, no fun battles, sad to
Viceroy
say.
of Kush. Get ready to march.
Well, we know that guy's around here, so I'm gonna go into an ambush one more turn with Amenmesse. Here, let's walk
Beware
a
my
little ways
wrath.
away from the station here, and then come back to the trade. And then go to the ambush
Stay
stance.
out of sight.
Perfect. And then I'm going to...
Death to my enemies.
I do not trust you guys.
How much is that armor worth? I should pluck it off your corpse.
Attitude just keeps moving up and down. So I don't think they're going to try to betray us. Famous last words.
Battle
We're going to
is
go
my
into
calling.
March.
Hear me.
And start
Hear
moving
me.
up to getting ready for our war with Waset.
Courage is everything.
Indeed. Stone or more bronze? We are at 1.4 thousand production of the bronze. We are doing very well. That's workforce growth. I'm going to go ahead and take this one on out and throw in the defenses at our bronze district here. Perfect. Wood in Miam. Get that one maxed out. And back over in Seth. For now, I do think we do want to add in the walls if we can. Don't quite have the workforce. Such is the way. Well, with that victory over the Dungle, I am going to be out of time for today. I have been Space Wizard Total War. Remember to leave a like for the light god and a sub for the sub though. See you on the next one.